I mean, this is late March. I've already done some preparation. Some things are already away, but there's still time to do other carrots, particularly sort of different coloured carrots where you don't really need the length. You just need quality carrots. So my mix is very straightforward. It is sulphate of potash, coarse sand, compost, and I buy these bags. There's an advert for Wicks. I buy these bags of topsoil from Wicks. It's refined topsoil. Now I'll show you when I pour it out what it's like inside. It's brilliant stuff, you know. And I like to mix it in here. See, it's coming out. It's totally refined and sieved. I think it's heat treated as well, but I'm not 100% on that. But there it is. Brilliant stuff. And with that bag, shovel full of coarse sand. Move it round. And of course the sulphate of potash is already in there. So it's just a question of mixing up. Like so. That looks decent. You can see that's perfect already, but I will do one other thing with it, which I'll show you in a second. So first of all, let's get a bucket full. And we'll take it down to the greenhouse for the next stage. Right, so what you need is just a tub like that, general tub, damage bucket in there, and a little sieve like this. Okay, we're really just trying to take the stones out and drive your neighbours mad doing this as they hear you. Just take hold of it and just start tapping away. Now then, what you've got is a beautifully refined mixture. Nothing to kink your carrots or twist them or fork them or anything like that. Brilliant. Okay, these are fibre pots. Last year I did it just with paper. Okay, this year I thought I'd splash out a whole pound. Bought a load of pots, and all I'm going to do is cut out the base. Probably really, if I think about it, probably don't really need to do that. However, because they're carrots and they're going to be reaching down immediately, I thought, no, let's just actually cut the bases out, and let's make sure that that there's no obstruction for the root of the carrot, because the idea is to get it going as straight and as deep as you possibly can and as quickly as you can. Okay, you can see if you look around the greenhouse, I have a nice collection of different coloured trays and things like this. The colours are relevant, right? Just thought I'd tell you that, because these were trays I bought for work years ago, and they became obsolete and are being thrown out, and they're absolutely perfect in here because I can put trays of plants in here and just water around them, and capillary action sucks the water, and I don't have to think about the watering. Don't like watering on top of plants, so this is perfect. So before we start, we'll just start piling those in the tray. Hope I've got enough to fill the tray, because they'll fall over otherwise. Nearly, not quite. Never mind, so place them in there. And then we'll get the lovely compost, and we'll just fill them all, one by one. It doesn't really matter if we end up with it in the tray, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Pat them down so we get a nice surface, and then straight in with the water. This water has been in the greenhouse overnight. Idea, and basically is to get the same temperature as the greenhouse, so it's nice and warm. Sun's been on it today. It's a lovely temperature for it to germinate the carrots. Now, the carrot seed can take up to 3 weeks to germinate, although I've known it happen an awful lot quicker, but worth doing. Now, seeds. I'll keep my seeds in a tin. I would advise everybody to do that, because if you don't, this is what happens. Those seeds were bought 2 days ago, and if you look carefully, they're all out all over. So I've got a nice mixed bag of seeds in there now, so that's going to be fun when I plant that. So what's going to come up? Who knows? But do I care? Doesn't matter really, right? They're all going in the ground. They're wildflower seeds anyway, so it won't make any difference. So if you leave them out, that's what happens. The mice love the paper for some reason. Must be good for their nests. So I recommend always in a tin like this. This is a bit small, this tin, but it does the job, you know. And you can see no mice in here. But never mind, let's find the seeds that I'm going to plant. Somewhere in here they are. Exactly. Should have really put my glasses on. That's carrots. That's a carrot seed. It's not the one I'm going to plant today. It's called Purple Haze. It's a purple carrot, which is, you can get all sorts of different coloured carrots these days. That's a purple one. The one I'm looking at, peas. That's for a different day. We'll do the peas at some other time. This is the one I'm after. This carrot here. Now you can't just use any old sort of seed if you want to grow quality carrots. I made that mistake years and years ago. I used to use Autumn King for growing big stumpy carrots, and yeah, you could get some big ones, but they just didn't have the refinement that this sweet candle has. And it was a guy, I think, who felt sorry for me, who decided I'll let him know the secret, and he basically told me about this particular carrot. And it is an absolute cracker, right? And they're uniform, they're lovely smooth surface to them, brilliant. Trouble is, you get a seed like that, packet of seeds like that, looks alright, doesn't it? But in actual fact, when you get it open, there's hardly any seed inside. So that's why it's always worthwhile spending a bit of time doing this instead of the old sprinkle business. Because if you tap it wrong, you'll end up, if you look in there, this seed is very, very little. I don't know if you can get in there with the camera. We'll bring it in and have a look. And it's got a fungicidal stuff on it as well, which is really good. So just tap a few of those into the hand, and away we go. Some people put, you know, one in. I usually put a couple in, so that basically once it starts, I'm doing that quite well, aren't I? Look, I managed to get two in each one, equally spaced. Brilliant. But never mind. Maybe that's the experience. Who knows? In the top there. And of course, I don't have to water the surface of this anymore. Now it's away. The one thing I have to watch out for is when it germinates and when they starting to grow. I've really got to be careful that the root doesn't go down too quickly and starts bending and twisting at the bottom. And once you put your seeds in there, just a light sprinkling over the surface there, just to cover them. I don't like to cover them too deeply, you know. I just like to see. I just get itchy to sort of see them coming through. And if you've got too far to come out, then you're just waiting those extra few days. There we go. And that's it, really. You're ready. It'll be maybe 3 weeks before they go into the tubes. So I've got loads more tubes to prepare, and that's what I'll be doing over the next fortnight. Once they get to about this high, I will take the whole tube, lift it up. It'll be solid enough because of the root structure inside, and I'll lift it up and I'll bring it over here, and I'll take one of those pots and cut a shape out of the soil here, and then just place the whole pot in and water in thoroughly, and we're away then. I get garlic, just ordinary garlic, crush it down, liquidize it into a big gallon tub of water, and I just water all the time in here with the garlic water, and it seems to ward the carrot root fly off. If you do that outside, if you're growing your carrots outside, which you can do, then you just have to be aware, if it rains, you need to water again with the garlic water. Otherwise the rain's just washed it off, and the slugs and the root fly and everything are in there. It is good for slugs as well. It stops the slugs getting in as well. They don't like the garlic water. If you want to grow parsnip seed, again, perhaps maybe start a wee bit earlier. Mine are already away, but you do the same thing. Same conditions, same materials, parsnip seed in the centre, and away it goes. Now, some people have trouble actually germinating parsnip seed. One of the little tips to actually get it to germinate is, and you've got to have done this maybe 6 weeks ago, get a little bag of compost, put your parsnip seeds in the compost in a plastic bag, and just put it at the back of the fridge next to the cooling unit, and just leave it there. Don't freeze it, just put it next to the back of the cooling unit so it gets quite cold, and then bring them outside, and as soon as you bring them outside, they think they've been through the winter and they germinate quite quickly.